Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Tuesday, September 29th. We have a few meetings to tell you about today. We have the Disaster Preparedness Task Force meeting. And I know it's actually Disaster Preparedness Month, so go ahead and watch that at 9:30 this morning on lagunawoodsvillage.com/meetings. It's virtual. We also have the third Mutual Town Hall meeting today, which will be live on Village Television at 1 p.m. Now, that discussion will be mostly about the ballot initiative that we've been telling you about over the last couple of days. Then we also have the United Finance Committee meeting at 1:30. And as I mentioned, you can follow along with the two meetings on lagunawoodsvillage.com/meetings. And then, of course, the third Mutual Town Hall will be live. Okay, on our show today, we have Assemblywoman Cotty Petrie Norris, and she's doing sort of a wrap-up of the year and to give you some good information about what's coming down the pike. And then we have the Right Now show with Charles and Judy, and they are just adorable, so I really enjoyed talking to them today. All right, our reminders for resources for COVID-19. You can go to covid19.ca.gov. It'll be today or sometime in the next couple of days, where the governor might decide we move into the moderate level. We don't know yet. Hopefully that will be the case, but we're not sure. OCHealthinfo.com you can go to for all the numbers, and the county hotline is 714-834-2000. Of course, you can always stay up to date locally on our website, LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com. If you have any questions or concerns, please email info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com. Now let's take a look at our weather. It is looking very, very warm after we burn off the fog this morning. We are looking at a very hot temperature today of 97-67. Then again, really hot tomorrow, 99-71. Thursday, 93-70. And then Friday, 91-66. And then Saturday, we see a slight decrease, 89-64. Our sunrise this morning was 6:44, and our sunset will be 6:38. Mark Rabinowitz, thank you so much for sending in this Ireland picture. Sure is green, which is pretty much what you can expect when you're there. So Mark, thank you so much. And if you have a landscape photo of someplace around here, feel free to send it to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we return, we will have Cotty Petrie Norris. Stay tuned.
SCAN Health Plan is a plan that is truly here for their members.
Members are the most important thing.
When you call us, you'll always get a live person. That live person is committed to you and your particular needs.
We cover your prescriptions, we cover your doctor, we cover your hospital. You only need one plan.
If you're new to Medicare, have both Medicare and Medi-Cal, or have been diagnosed with certain chronic conditions, you may qualify to join SCAN now. To learn more, call SCAN today or talk to your agent or broker about SCAN.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Cotty Petrie Norris, our Assemblywoman, and I just wanted to, welcome you to the show, first of all. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, Lisa, it's always so good to see you. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I always enjoy the interviews with you because you always have a wealth of information, and this time is certainly no different than any other. And there's a lot of things to cover, so why don't we just jump right in where you are actually talking about something I know we all want to hear about, and that's called flattening the curve.
Yes, we've been talking about the need to flatten the curve for the past 6 months now. And I've got to say, I am so pleased to be able to have some really good news to report to you and to all of our viewers. So over the course of the past week, California's positivity rate was the lowest that it's been since the start of this pandemic. And since our peak in mid-July, we've seen hospitalizations and ICU cases actually decrease by approximately 60%. So thanks to the actions of 40 million Californians who have been masking up, who have been practicing distancing, we have begun to flatten the curve.
Yeah, that's great news. Great news. And we've been reporting, weekly here, keeping abreast of the numbers. And so, I like what they did with the new graphs and things. That really helps, I think, everyone understand what's going on. Now, in regards to the tiers, there was 4 different tiers, and we went from, excuse me, the one to the next one, which I guess we're at the red level. Do you have any idea when we're going to jump to the next one?
So we rolled out the blueprint for a safer economy, and like you said, there's 4 tiers. So the most restrictive is purple, and then red, orange, and yellow. Orange County entered into the red tier beginning last week, and we were able to open a number of new business sectors as a result of that. In order for us to move to the orange tier, we need to do 2 things. We need to keep doing all the things we've been doing. We need to continue to mask up. We need to practice distancing. The tiers are based on really 2 criteria. Number 1 is the positivity rate, and number 2 is the number of new cases across the county. And so we continue to move in the right direction. If we continue on this trend, then we should be able to make progress and move into the orange tier in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, so let's talk about what's open now. I mean, there's been some discussion. I mean, we're all keeping a good eye on it because we all want to go out and eat dinner. And I did actually go out this last weekend or this week and found that there were a number of places that still had outdoor seating, which I think is great as long as the weather permits. But tell me what else was going on with openings.
So I so agree with you. I love the outdoor dining, and I love the way that our restaurants have gotten so creative about just creating these beautiful special spaces in courtyards and on sidewalks. It feels almost European. And we do know that in all cases, outdoors is always safer than indoors. But because we are seeing a slow in the spread and a flattening of the curve here in Orange County, we have been able to open a number of sectors for indoor use. We were able to open additional retail and shopping malls. Those have some capacity constraints. So it's 25% of normal capacity, or retails and malls are 50% of normal capacity. Restaurants are operating at 25% of normal capacity with a maximum of 100 individuals. And the hope for me and for our local government partners, and certainly for all of our small businesses, is that by being really slow and gradual with our reopening, we'll be able to continue to keep this under control and continue to gradually reopen rather than have to go through a roller coaster of opening and closing. And then I know the thing that a lot of folks are watching, and there's probably parents and grandparents that are watching right now, is school opening. And a number of Orange County elementary schools are actually open right now for in-person instruction with these elementary school waivers. And all Orange County schools are going to be eligible to reopen September 22nd. Each of our school districts and our superintendents and our school board leadership are working really, really hard to ensure that we can bring students back to the classroom in a way that keeps our students and our teachers and our families safe.
Yeah, and I've talked to some parents who are finding it rather difficult to sit there and make sure that their children are watching their TV or their monitors to pay attention, because they just want to, get up and go do something, and it's not easy. I mean, obviously the teacher can't go, "Oh, you sit down," kind of a thing. So that's
right.
Good news, really good news.
It is good news. Yeah, and I know I've got, as I think Lisa, I've got an 11 and 13-year-old here at home. So we are like parents and grandparents all across Orange County. We are navigating the travails and the adventures of online schooling right now.
Well, no, and then once they all go back to school, you guys are going to go, "Wow, it's just so quiet." All right, what are some of the things that we should be paying attention to moving forward, especially with fall coming, and then we've got our flu season as well?
Yep. And so while I am cautiously optimistic, we know that we have to stay vigilant, particularly when we think about the fact that fall's coming, winter's coming. We've all been warned about the risk of this twin-demic where we're battling COVID-19 as well as a flu season. So the top tips that I continue to hear from our medical experts and our scientific experts it's all the stuff we've been doing. It's, washing your hands, practicing distancing, wearing a mask, and everyone needs to get a flu shot this year. Everyone needs to get a flu shot.
I wonder if getting the flu shot would actually help our immunity system against COVID. I haven't heard anything regarding that.
It's interesting. I think we are, it's not just you and I that are learning new things every day. It's our best and brightest scientific minds are learning new things every day about, how we can fight this virus and slow the spread. And certainly we know that ensuring that you don't get the flu so your immune system isn't depressed and depleted, it's nothing but a good thing.
Okay, good. And then, wow, so the wildfires are just crazy, and we've been suffering here in Orange County because of the smoke, which is actually quite a bit better today than it has been over the last several weeks. Can you give us an update on what's going on?
Yeah, as we all know, COVID-19 is not the only state of emergency that California is battling right now. We are in the midst of a historic wildfire season. Right now, there are 17,000 firefighters here in California on the front lines battling 25 major fires. We've already seen 3.4 million acres have been burned. That's bigger than the state of Connecticut, Lisa. And we're just at the start of this wildfire season. So we've been really blessed and really fortunate so far in Orange County that while we certainly have seen the effects of the smoke and the air pollution, we have not seen a major fire here in Orange County. And I know that our local firefighters and the Orange County Fire Authority, they are on high alert because we're really just at the start of this wildfire season.
Well, right. And I did notice that there might be a cooling trend, but 3 days isn't really going to do it. You need to have weeks of cooling. So to be prepared, there are a number of different things. I mean, some people don't necessarily have to worry about it because they're not near areas of fire, but nonetheless, you still have to be prepared for emergencies. So what are some things that your office wants everyone to know?
Yeah. Well, and a large part of South Orange County is in what's called the wildland urban interface. And I sat down a couple of weeks ago with the chief of the Orange County Fire Authority, Chief Fennessy. And for me, the big takeaway is that we all need to take steps to be prepared. And there were really kind of two top tips that he left us with. Number one is create defensible space around your home. So, that means removing dry brush, removing dry shrubs, removing anything that is in effect just fuel for these fires. So that's number one. And then number two is making sure that you've got your go bag ready. And so a go bag is a bag that has all of your important documents along with enough food and water for it to last you 48, 72 hours. Something that you can literally just grab if you get that notice from our emergency services that you need to evacuate. And the Orange County Fire Authority on their website, which is ocfa.org, they've got some great information about how people can take practical steps both to defend their homes and also to prep their go bag and be ready and be prepared.
Okay, that's great. Good information. And then lastly, just real quick, I know there were a number of things that you guys did to help with COVID and PPEs and a variety of other things. Can you touch just real quickly on a couple of those things that you guys did?
So Lisa, we wrapped up our legislative session at the end of August. And as you rightly said, so much of the focus was on COVID response and recovery. In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen so many renters and homeowners who are on the brink of eviction or foreclosure. So we took action to create new protections to keep people in their homes. I was also really proud to champion legislation to ensure that we've got emergency supplies of personal protective equipment for our nurses, our doctors, and first responders. And as part of the 2020 budget, my colleagues and I fought really hard to ensure that we were preserving investments in really important programs for our seniors. And I'm pleased to share that we were able to preserve those investments. So we preserved funding for Meals on Wheels, funding for in-home supportive services, and funding for the expansion of Medi-Cal benefits, amongst a number of other programs.
Okay, well, excellent. Well, thank you as always. You always, like I said, you always have lots of great information. I appreciate it. And we will see you again.
Well, Lisa, thank you again for having me. It's always wonderful to catch up. And for the folks at home, please know that my office is always here to help. You can reach us on 949-251-0074. You can visit our website or just Google Cottie, Cottie. And don't hesitate. We're here on the phone, on email, and we've even got new Zoom office hours. So we look forward to connecting.
All right, excellent. Thank you again.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
And we'll be right back after this.
By staying home, the community of Orange County has made a difference. But doing so shouldn't mean putting your own health at risk. Hogue wants you to know that safe, quality care is available. Don't ignore or delay the medical attention you need. From routine checkups to revolutionary treatments, Hogue is here for you, just as we have been for almost 70 years. Like no other time before, your healthcare choices matter. Get the care you need from the name you trust.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Judy and Charles, who are here from the Right Now Show. Well, welcome both of you. How are you both doing?
Great. Nice.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Well, I mean, we've been obviously doing Zooms now for quite some time, and I know you guys are not immune to it either because you have your own show and you have guests just like we do. So let's talk about the Right Now Show and what have you guys been doing over these past couple months?
Zoom, Zoom, Zoom.
It's true.
Names are Zoom, Zoom, right?
We miss the studio a lot and the camaraderie, but the one thing the Zooms allowed us to do is we're going outside the village and the nearby areas to get guests in from across the country and across the world. We actually have a guest lined up from England in a couple of months.
Right. I mean, that is some of the good that's come out of COVID-19 is that we have the Zoom available and a variety of other softwares. And even my doctors are digging it because they don't have to leave the hospital. They just walk to their office, do their 15 minutes, and then they go right back to surgery.
Right, yeah. And some of our guests that are motivational speakers or on book tours, they've got more time. Exactly. So they can take time for an interview. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Exactly. So let's start with your July show. Who did you have on?
Luis Alberto Urrea. He's someone I met down in Tucson, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And he's a professor in the University of Illinois, Chicago. And he wrote this book in 2003 called The Devil's Highway. And it was a Pulitzer Prize finalist. And he says to me, he would have won that year, except that was the year that the commission came out with the 9/11 commission report. And obviously that took first place. But very great writer, good friend, and we love him.
Oh, that's awesome. And how about August?
Vince Papali. Oh, what a terrific guest. And what a story. He was 31 years old when he became a rookie for the Philadelphia Eagles, which is quite an achievement. And he was a teacher before. And they did his life story with Mark Wahlberg called Invincible. And he's also written a book with someone else called Invincible, and just a very moving story. And what a guest, inspirational, just inspirational and enthusiasm for life and just a joy to talk with.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he was in Florida when we talked to him. So there you are. That's one of the advantages.
Yeah, it's closing that gap. That is for sure. Closing the miles.
Yeah, right.
And then September, wow, you had Jamie Ford on?
We had Jamie Ford, New York Times bestselling author for 2.5 years with his book On the Corner of Bitter and Sweet.
Can you imagine?
And he was coming in from Montana, and he was a total delight. And he's fascinating to talk to. And of course, they're in the movie production now, and that's what we like to talk to authors outside who've not only done well with the books, but converting them into movies.
Yeah. Oh, I like that too. And a couple of the books that I've read are now movies, like Little Fires Everywhere. I was reading that, and that's now a series. And then, gosh, what was the last one? Oh, I forgot. But now it's now being turned into one. So I do like that too, because then you can go watch the movie as well.
And his novel, Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet, sold over 2 million copies. I mean, that is so fabulous. And hopefully that's an inspiration to our viewers, because it's never too late. And Jamie said that too. And so many people that move to the village, they've got time to write, and maybe they've always wanted to do it. Now's the time, and hopefully our show will make them want to go to their word processor. Well, that dates me. That's where I started. The computer
now.
Yeah. But
Jamie also said that he never, took any English courses, and he wasn't an English major, and he just sat down one day and started to write. So that's another inspirational note.
Yeah. And I know with my grandparents, I wished I had asked them more questions about where their life and growing up. And so many people here, even if they just write their memoirs for their grandchildren, what a wonderful gift.
Exactly. No, it's true. It's true. All right. So let's see. Now, next month you have somebody coming up.
Leo Rossi. He's known for his acting, but he's also a screenwriter. And he's a mutual friend, and he's now in production, although all production stopped just like ours in the studio. But he's got a book that he's written, or he has a screenplay he's written that's being converted into the final movie. They've got funding for it, based on the life of a boxer, and a boxer that I knew very well, a personal friend of mine, and his name was Joey Giardella. And Joey's story is about his son, who was born with Down syndrome, and Joey helped the Special Olympics get started with the Shrivers.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And I just watched Leo Rossi in a movie, Heart Like a Wheel, yesterday, and he played one of the lead's husbands. Wonderful actor, wonderful movie. So I'm looking forward to talking to him. And Charlie said he has a lot of stories. He's worked with some big names, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
Let me ask you both about your show. So as a whole, what are you trying to accomplish?
Go ahead, Judy. You just said it so.
Yeah, yes, I feel a big part of it is really to inspire them. And also, we have so many fascinating people right here in the village that are just treasures with their stories. So a number of our guests are local residents, and it's fun to see your neighbors. And I always am amazed when I see that not only did they get the idea for the book, but they bring the actual physical book to the show. They've done the whole process. And we talk about that process sometimes. A number of them are self-published. And they're just an inspiration is a word I keep using, but that's what they are. And I think it's great to bring their stories to this.
The show is now, what, 10, 12 years old? Judy, you started before I did?
For about 13 years.
Wow.
13.
It's been a while, yeah.
And I think the next Village Breeze is going to have the history and a little update on what we're doing now too in the next issue.
That's great. I mean, we all try to inspire, and we try to inform, and I think that's what most of our shows do here on Village Television. And so I appreciate you guys taking the time to get to know people in the village and expose what they're all about, because you're right. We have lots of people here that have really unique backgrounds.
Yes.
Oh, we do.
Absolutely.
Well,
I actually met the man who replaced Einstein at the university in Princeton.
Oh, did you?
Living here in the village, yeah.
Oh, no.
I know. You can sit next to somebody next to the swimming pool. Well, we can't do that now.
Not yet.
And you never know what they get until you read their obituary sometimes.
Oh, isn't that terrible? Unless you I know. But, we'll get back to our normal, and we'll be able to chat and get to know everybody again. So let's talk about when your show airs.
We air every Monday at 10:30, right, Judy?
And every Friday morning at
11.
Okay, so which is it? Is it every Monday at 10:30 and every Friday at 11, or is it reversed? Because your notes say it's reversed.
Well, sometimes it's right in the globe and sometimes it's not. So I would say starting at 10 o'clock, watch Channel 6. You're going to find something interesting,
Well,
and we'll
why
be
don't we
on
just go a little-
eventually.
Let's just go a little further. Say just start at 9.
Well, you know, Lisa, our
ThisDay.
show's now an hour. So what they've been doing, since you don't have the trading post, they've been letting that show run an extra half hour. So maybe even starts at 10 and ends at 11 instead of 10:30 to 11. So
Got it.
I know your schedule's been all messed up too because of the virus and the
Yeah,
change
well,
in
we
scheduling.
shortened it for, we are now a half an hour. So now we go from 9 to 9:30, Monday through
Right.
Saturday.
So there's a half hour we could use.
Well, you can't have it. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't have
We may want that back.
and you'll take it back eventually.
We will, we will. Well, it's very nice talking with you both. Thank you again, and we'll see you again soon.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you, Lisa.
All right,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Well, I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things, that your vote is very important on the upcoming ballot. Now, today there is a virtual town hall meeting, which is going to be aired right here on Channel 6 Village Television at 1 p.m. So you want to tune in to hear all about it. They're going to explain the ballot measure, what it's all about, the CC&Rs, and why it's important and why they need your vote. So make sure that you tune in today. Then also, I wanted to let you know that tomorrow there is going to be a free drive-through COVID-19 testing clinic that is going to be held at St. Nicholas's Church. Now that is this Wednesday, tomorrow, from 9:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. at St. Nicholas's Church, and they do want you to please register at oc.fulgenetics.com. So you're going to want to go to that website and go ahead and sign in, and they'll go ahead and get you set up for that on Wednesday for the drive-through clinic. All right, let's take a look at our weather one last time. As I mentioned, it is going to be quite warm, and that fog is burning off very quickly. Today's temperatures, we are looking at a high of 97.67, which is very hot. Tomorrow, 99.71. Again, warm on Thursday, 93.70, then 91.66, and then Saturday, 89.64. So it is looking very warm, so stay hydrated and stay in the shade. Okay, well, that's all we have for today. Join us again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or you can watch a rebroadcast at 12:30 and then again at 5. But don't forget the town hall meeting at 1 o'clock. Stay healthy. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
At Harvard Eye, we're so happy to be open again to see you for all of your medical and surgical eye care. We're taking great care to protect everyone from COVID-19 by seeing fewer patients, spacing out chairs in the lobby, sanitizing our office constantly, and doing much more. The world is changing a lot, but what hasn't changed is we're honored by your trust and confidence and committed to keeping you safe. We can't wait to see you again.
Tip. Toss. Take action. Don't give mosquitoes a fighting chance.